Welcome viewers to the start of season 3 of Table for Two. The first ever show was supposed to be a simple interview with my best friend James Neophytou. I answer questions about my charity work in Sierra Leone and also the photography I do for the Greek Orthodox Church and the community as well. Now Yorgos Lingos of Hellenic TV, he saw something in that first show and asked us to have a regular monthly slot. James and I decided on a new name, which is Table for Two, and also our own background, as you can see behind us, from Clissold Arms, and the show began. Sadly, in July 2025, as many of you already know, James lost a short battle with cancer. Yorgos Lingos and I both attended James's funeral, where we had several people coming to us saying that they enjoyed the show and asking if it will continue. The popularity astounded us. We weren't expecting this at all. Yorgos doesn't know this, but not having my best friend here with me meant I was ready to call it a day. I changed my mind though, because of all these people who we didn't know and wanted the show to continue. Even James, whilst at the hospice, in fact 2 days before his passing, he was weak and tired, but still talking about the show and what to do in the show. Continuing from there now, with us today we have a man with many strings to his bow. He doesn't play the violin. No. Do you? Okay.
Fortunately not.
I thought I'd ask. But he is the current president of the Greek Orthodox Church of Holy Transfiguration in Coventry, and newly appointed, I put elected originally. But
It is elected.
All right, okay.
Yes.
Newly elected Vice President of the Association of Greek Orthodox Communities of Great Britain. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alex. I'd like to add that I'm one of 3 vice presidents, the other 2 being the eminent Marios Minaidis and Jason Haralambo.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking me on to the show. I've always followed the show. It was always very interested to watch. Obviously, I met you several years ago. We've become good friends. And I had the honour and privilege of meeting James as well, down in London on several occasions through church. And also he visited our church in Coventry a few years ago with Bad Anastasios when we fetched the lips now of Ios Pandeleimon.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely chap. Greatly missed by so many people. And I'll just, offer my condolences to his family and all his friends, especially you being a very close friend for many decades.
They'll appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. Now the show continues with its standard format. Sierra Leone news first of all. There's some good news. I don't know, hopefully people remember Angelina. She's a young girl from Sierra Leone, orphaned, and she was adopted by Haris and Madina from Thessaloniki. So we met them last year when I went with Alexandra, and they were going back and forth from Sierra Leone to the Greek embassy in Nigeria, back to Sierra Leone before they could finalise the move from Sierra Leone to Thessaloniki, where Angelina now lives with Haris and Madina. She's doing very, very well. Her Greek has come on leaps and bounds. She's in regular school now. No problem there at all. And just recently she was also baptized, which for us as Orthodox is a very important step for her development. So that's really good news from Angelina. In the meantime, in Sierra Leone, we're digging the well still in Godrich. We've purchased a pump, pipes. We've got everything there ready, but unfortunately at the moment there's still another massive boulder we need to get rid of. They're about 40 foot down, if not more.
Crikey.
They have to get rid of this boulder to get to the clean water underneath it. So there's still work going on there, but all the donations from your church, from St Luke's, in Birmingham as well, from people, general people, members of the public, we're getting there. Whilst that's going on, we're still paying for school fees, for school uniforms. More recently, though, baby Nigidas, who took the name of our Archbishop,
That's right.
he was quite sick, so we asked them to send him to the hospital, where they said he was only a couple of weeks away from having malnutrition. Now, malnutrition in its worst state can also cause death. It affects the bodily organs. It can also it'll affect the progress of that child through life. and they'll always have a very, very weak immune system. But thankfully, we caught that just in time. Once again, donations from all over have supported his recovery, and then each month we're sending money for food, just to help him get back on track. As well as baby Nikitas, there's baby Thomas, and there's baby Isaiah, who also went through malnutrition. So there's a lot of work still going on. Now, since we've got you here, Alex, all the way from Coventry,
which is
it
was an early start.
Yeah, was it a lot of traffic on the M1?
It was, with the tube strikes and everything today. More cars on the roads.
When you come to the big city, you have to expect this sometimes. Now, we'll talk briefly about your work in Coventry, and now for the broader community as well. Now, first of all, where did we meet?
Where did we meet? If I remember correctly, I first saw your photography on Facebook when you photographed the patriarch on his visit about 12 years ago, was it?
About that.
It was about that. And I messaged you, I didn't know you at the time, if I could borrow some of your photos to put onto our Facebook page, since I just had a little telephone at the back of the cathedral. And you were very gracious, and you said, absolutely, use the photos. And then you explained to me how Father Christian asked you to photograph all the London churches. And I thought, what a great idea. And I suggested that you come to Coventry. Well, it was as if I asked you to come over to the Himalayas. It was Coventry, north of Watford.
It's up north, isn't it?
It's up north.
From West Scotland.
So I persuaded you. And yes, and you came up and photographed our church. And since then, you've visited several occasions. Yeah. You've realised that we're not that far.
Yeah.
And subsequently, you covered the clergy conference that we hosted about 7 years ago.
That was something.
Remember, about 800 Orthodox priests descending on Coventry.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
and you covered the whole conference 3 days, if I remember correctly.
I know. Well, thanks to you.
And obviously you've gone nationwide now, haven't you?
Yeah, that's
covering
right.
several churches.
Well, international.
Well, yes, of course. Alexandria and
there's Alexandria. There's
Cyprus,
Thessaloniki. Cyprus not yet. Maybe for the honeymoon.
We're working on it.
And then the Sierra Leone. Yes,
absolutely.
International. Now I have to mention that the community of Coventry, along with the two Midlands churches, Birmingham churches, all got together. Through Alex, and they managed to buy a baptismal font for Bishop Themia for Sierra Leone, which is a godsend, because until that time they'd never baptised small babies, and in a country where infant mortality is high, you need it.
Yeah, it's paramount, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's a massive thanks. But as well as that, we've had monetary support from yourselves for the Zinc House kids. That's something you've done as well for us.
We have a great philoptochos in Coventry, led by Dimitra Durbada and her ladies, and they've always supported several charities, both internationally and locally, and they were more than happy to help with Sierra Leone.
Yeah. Even Maria and Steyos.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
During lockdown, when the mission in Sierra Leone was opening its kindergarten, they sent boxes and boxes of different coloured T-shirts for the children there. So the support's been continuous. It will carry on as well, which we're very, very grateful for anything we receive. Now let's talk about the president of the church.
Yeah.
So what does that entail?
Basically, it's a job no one wants. You have to make sure that all the bills are paid, the electricity is paid, the building is kept sound. We have a priest.
It's not just sitting there and saying.
Absolutely not. I've got a great team on the committee. I have 10 colleagues. We all have various roles, and basically we keep the church. And of course, what's important is over here in the UK, we're not just a church, we're a community as well. So whereas the church is very much the orthodox emphasis, and our demographics are changing all the time. Originally it used to be primarily Greek Cypriots, with a few mainland Greeks attending. Now we have people from various ethnicities and a lot of catechumens and people converting to orthodoxy, especially these last 2-3 years, which I think is a movement that's happening across the whole UK and the Western world.
How do you maintain the community spirit? Because it's lost in a lot of churches. I've got to say, in London, several churches have lost that community spirit. How do you maintain it and keep it going?
So the community side of things, we're actually on the outskirts of Coventry, so we're quite fortunate. We have, parking and whatever. And we've managed to build a community hall. So we have functions there we can accommodate easily 150, 160 people. The Greek school has about 7-8 classes above. So they have their school yachts there. We have regular barbecues. You've seen our barbecue and our team of guys, fantastic sublaga, and of course that's what brings us together. And a lot of people say, you're like a village. That's almost an accordion, and that's what we like. We've had family members there for the last 5-6 decades, and now their children and grandchildren are coming along, and it's that sense of we've almost like a village. And at Easter time, we come into our own because we have a firework display and whatever, and people absolutely love it, and we come from all over. So
that's wonderful. We
do like it.
I think it's important to include communities from around the church. Not just
absolutely, yes, and we have a very good rapport with the other neighbouring communities, which are about 25-30 miles away. Primarily the two Birmingham communities, with Leicester, with Warsaw. We do sort of support one another, and attend each other's events, and that's always good to see. Yeah,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, now a lot of the news I'm going to be talking about now is things that you kind of know about. There's obviously the church news. Some of it it's from the summer months, so it'll be. I'm going to start with St Haralambos Summer Festival. Very, very popular event, not just for the Orthodox, but for the surrounding communities.
Oh, right, okay.
You get a lot of non-Orthodox coming. So at the front of the church, there's a big banner for about a month or so beforehand saying Summer Festival, Greek Summer Festival. And then it fills up with non-Orthodox. These are the English people who are from the local communities who just want to come and listen to Greek music, see Greek dancing, have some Greek food.
Excellent.
And it's such an amazing event. Have you been there before?
I haven't, unfortunately not.
You've got on your way back to London one day, just come off at the junction, and it's only 5 minutes from the M1, and go and have a look there. I mean, Father David's there, he's doing amazing things. He's actually got Bible study classes on Thursdays at 7 p.m. in the church hall. They're in English, which helps a lot, especially nowadays. And it's not live streaming. You have to attend, which is I think is lost in some churches now. It helps in some instances when you got people far away. But I think what Father David is doing there, I think is amazing. Now at the summer festival, I have to say there was a dance group called Figura. I don't know if you've heard of Figura. They're more London-based. A guy called Jagovo runs the school. So they were there entertaining us with the dancing. But what I love is they got the people to come and join in with the dancing,
fantastic.
Which is such an important thing to do. So it wasn't just the Greeks who were joining, who knew the dances. We had the Romanians joining in, we had the English joining in. So it was a really, really good event. So that I really did enjoy. Now after that, we were at Prophet Elias. Have you been there in Reading? Okay, that's another. I think it's a relatively new church they're using. So I think it's an Anglican church that they borrow after the Anglicans has finished with it. And the president of that church is actually a woman, an Hellenic.
Right.
Now, His Eminence has been saying since he came, I want women on the committee.
Absolutely. And
they have their woman president, very, very strong.
That's excellent. Well, out of 11 members in Coventry, 4 are ladies.
Yeah, I've
7 and 4 ladies.
Always from the time I first.
And we've had lady trustees as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's the way.
It's very important.
It's the way forward. Now, following that, in London, we had St Panteli. Now, this was with the Archbishop of Cyprus, or his beatitude, should we say? He's a patriarch.
That's right.
So he was there for the Yorti. We went there for the Vespers. So I was there from the night before. So I got to see him, in a quieter environment rather than the next day when we had the feast day. We had His Eminence there, Archbishop Nikitas was there. They had the hall there, so they had food afterwards. But he has some, I won't go through the stories now, but the Archbishop has some amazing stories, things that he's been through, and how his faith has I mean, even beyond that, has kept him going. You know, it takes a lot of inner strength, not just faith. You have to have that inner strength to fight what he went through. I mean, if anyone looks up his story online, do you know?
I know various bits about it.
Yeah, so it's
a long journey.
Yeah, very, very long journey. Now, I'm going to kind of go away from the church slightly for this next bit. Now, I was at a christening. I photograph some christenings every now and then, and there was a guy who was like looking at me, and I thought, do I know him? He was around the early 30s. His name's Louis Neophytou. And he asked me if I had children who went to the Greek school in Hispania. I said, yeah, my children went there. He goes, I went there too, and I remember you. Now, this is from 25 years back. But what did he remember? I was asked to look after the class one day because the teacher was going to arrive late, and I gave him some sort of quiz. I asked questions, and he got a question right. So I gave him a couple, because I used to help run the tuck shop,
right.
And I gave him a couple of cakes as a prize, and he remembers to this day
all them years later
that act of kindness. So even you in church, if you do a small act of kindness to someone, you won't even know how it's affected them. But it will carry on going through life, you know. So it's a very, very important thing to do, because people remember that.
Of course, they do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
People also remember the bad things you do, probably more so. But that is the act of kindness that gets you through. Now, church again. Christ the Saviour. There's another church you haven't been to, or have you? In Welling, in Kent?
No, but they're visiting us at the end of the month.
Oh, really?
We've arranged they're coming up by coach on
wonderful.
Saturday the 27th, from Father Thomas, who I've been talking to on the phone. He's going to do a paraglis in there, because unfortunately we haven't got a resident priest at the moment.
Okay.
Last priest, Father Theodoros, got relocated to Manchester, so at the moment we're relying on locum priests.
Oh, wonderful. I never knew that.
So Father Thomas will have to do the paraglis on his own.
Wonderful.
But we look forward to meeting him.
Good. I mean, he's a lovely guy. He's also got Father Haralambos there as well. And I went in there a few days before their Yorti, before their feast day, for the ordination of Father Haralambos. He's an English guy, young guy. He's married. He has sons. He has children. So he knows about life. He knows
family
about
life,
the community, and the younger neo-Orthodox converts that they bring into the church love him so much. I also love Father Thomas. Have you met Father? You must have
I've only spoke to him on the phone.
He's very calm, very relaxing, very knowledgeable.
Looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. Now, so that was on a Sunday. Now, on the Wednesday morning, just to punish myself, I went back to Welling from North London. So it's obviously going through the tunnels and in traffic. So we went there for the Yorti, and Metropolitan Athanasius was there. And he also tonsured a set of twins, two brothers, both amazing chanters, both part of the Byzantine School of Music as well. And so it's Vlad and Constantine. But his Eminence called him Vladimiros. Is that an actual name in Greek?
I suppose it can be Hellenized. Yeah, why not?
I don't know, but Vladimiros and Constantino.
It's got a good ring to it, definitely.
He did what I love, is when they cut hair, because they don't.
That's right.
A lot of them don't cut hair. But he cut a bit of each one's hair, and the fact they're quite tall as well made it easier for them having to bend down. So that was at Christ the Saviour. If I'll be going back there soon, they have their Yorti. In fact, just before this show goes out, they've got their Baniere. Because they can't have it during the Yorti, because we can't have
fasting period, isn't it? Yeah.
So they have it afterwards. So that'd be quite good. Now, Domitian of Theotokos, a big festival which you celebrate as well in Coventry. So I was at Banayemo Green for that with His Eminence. What I noticed this year, usually during the summer months, there are fewer people in church. This year, the church was packed. Not just packed, there were a lot of young people, a lot of non-Cypriots, the neo-Orthodox as I call them. Absolutely. But it was heaving. There were so many people there. And I was trying to work out why there are more people now than there were 5 years ago, 10 years ago during the summer months. A lot of the older people who would regularly go to Cyprus 4 weeks, 6 weeks in the summer, can't anymore. Some have left us. Some are too feeble to go.
Absolutely.
Some don't like the heat anymore, so they wait until February to go. But then again, you have all the neo-Orthodox who aren't Cypriots. They don't need to do their 4-6 week holidays in Cyprus. And I was wondering, in the summer, do you close your fish and chip shop? Brother Alex he's a fish and chip shop owner in Nuneaton. Is it Nuneaton?
In Nuneaton, which is just north of
Coventry. Do you
Coventry.
during the summer months?
No.
Okay, because so many Cypriot restaurants, maybe it's a London thing, will close during the summer. Barber shops, hairdressers, because they all go off to Cyprus.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, who else does that? Italians don't do that.
No.
Indian restaurants do that, but for some of the Cypriots...
We always like to provide that service all year round. So
that's good, you know, yeah. But you're not the best fish and chip shop in the region, are you? It was the guy from...
we won't mention that.
Warwick.
No. It was we had the Bishop of Coventry attend one of. We celebrated, if you remember, Archbishop Gregorios. We hosted his 30-year anniversary luncheon, and the Bishop of Warwick, who now incidentally is the Dean of Windsor, the King has poached him from Coventry, and he mentioned that his favourite chip shop was, and he announced it in front of about 20 fish fries. So I won't mention the name, or should I?
Oh, I forgot. You mentioned
the name. It was George Gabriel's shop, Gabriel's Fish and Chips. That was in the family for about 6 years, but George has now retired. So,
has he? Okay.
So maybe mine might be the
yours might be
close second, perhaps.
Definitely at the top.
Perhaps.
Yeah, no, that was wonderful. But I've said this so many times on the show. A lot of our churches were built on fish and chip shops.
Absolutely.
You're all true to your faith, and you all want to support the community and allow it to thrive and to live. And so I'll always sing the praises of the fish and chip shop owners, you, and then. Was your father before you?
My father and lots of our founding fathers. Our community has been going 60 years now, and the original families were all involved, primarily in hospitality or fish and chips.
Yeah, good, well done. Back to we still got the mission of Theotokos, so it was quite a big thing for me because we had Banayemwa Green. Then I went to Birmingham on Sunday with His Eminence. I was invited by Chris McCree,
good old Chris,
who you know well. So he, as soon as His Eminence confirmed, he phones me or messages me, Alex, can you come Birmingham on this day? We've confirmed the Archbishop. This is like going about a month before. I said, yeah, of course I will. So obviously I went there, and I'm happy I went because I didn't realise this. Father Samuel from Warsaw during the Vespers. He was elevated to Archimandridi, to Archimandrite.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
And the church was full up for Vespers with the Warsaw community. And His Eminence actually, he commented. He said, how, so many people in this church now on a Saturday evening, but Warsaw filled the church with, as I say again, the neo-Orthodox. There were so many people non-Greeks, non-Cypriots, who were there for that, and it's wonderful having them all. Now. The reason I mentioned Chris Margheriti because his son was tonsured as a reader.
That's correct, yeah.
He didn't have his hair cut though.
Oh, didn't he? He avoided it.
His Eminence doesn't.
Well, his dad's a barber, so of course Chris would see to it.
There you go. And then Sunday morning, obviously with His Eminence again, we had the feast day. Now, two people you know really well had an honorary award. So there was Archon Mr Christopher Babachristoforu.
Stafagis,
they don't know Stafagis, and Mr Dimitris Markou.
Absolutely.
So these are people who supported the community for decades.
From decades.
Before we were born.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we were born. And they're still there helping the community.
Absolutely.
And one final mention is the Greek Outdoors were there cooking the wonderful food. I mention them because I keep saying how a lot of the communities now go for outside caterers. And they actually had 3 events that day. So they were spreading themselves all over, but they did really well. Now, non-church news. We have a lot of stuff that obviously you don't get up in Coventry. It's a shame you can't come to London for this. Next year, maybe you'll be invited. This is the Brotherhood, Greek Cypriot Brotherhood, their garden party.
All right,
so I was there last year, there again this year. So Eleni from Asteragya, a woman that you probably wouldn't have known or don't know about, she does children's entertainment. So she had dancing, she had music, she had arts and crafts in one of the rooms there. So she was keeping the kids and the adults entertained. The mums and dads enjoy the singing just as much as the kids.
I'm sure we do.
And James, yes, there was face painting. James would always ask about the face painting. There was face painting. Now this year they had several stalls around. Last year it was child orientated, young child.
Right.
So there were a lot of children. By bringing in the more adults than children, it meant there's a continuation, because eventually the children get to an age where they don't want their face painted, they don't want to go dancing, they don't want to do singing nursery rhymes, but the parents will always want souvlaki.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's a good step there from Christos Karolis. Now I'm going to mention some of the stalls. There's Melissimo Honey. It's a Cypriot firm, and they bring their honey to England, and there's a lovely couple, married couple, who will actually go to these events and sell the honey. Now, there was an audiologist, Zoe Ioannou. So she would check your ears if they're clean, if you need syringing, cleaning. So she was advising there. And near her was the Muddy Studio. So we had the audiologist, and then we had the Muddy Studio. Now, what do you think the Muddy Studio was?
Eyes, I assume?
No. It was the Muddy. You know the Muddy you get?
Oh, right.
That's why I thought it was quite.
Definitely.
So yeah, the Muddy Studio is not for the eyes. It's the Muddy you get that you wear for things. But she's obviously, it's not something we go for, but she's very, very popular, and she's expanded her range of Muddy. Anyway, she's expanded her range. So she's doing really well. A young woman. Mm-hmm. She's found something she enjoys doing, and people go for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now there was Gomandaria tasting as well. And this was donated by, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, Alasia. There's a firm that makes Gomandaria, and they donated bottles of Gomandaria for the event, for them to either sell as tasters, and they did really well out of that as well. Now there's an author called Sulla Christodoulou, who I'm not sure. I think I first met her at the Wine Festival, possibly. I think she's got about 4 books out at the moment. Greek Cypriot woman. The latest is The Summer Will Come. That's her latest book. Now they're turning that into a film. So she's got gala events trying to raise money for the film. I think she's got a director lined up. So she's doing all the, she's going through all the steps now. Now she's just raising that money, and then look out for it. The summer will come.
Right. Okay.
If it comes out, and hopefully we get an invite to the opening.
To the launch.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. So that's Sulla Christodoulou, who's also on Instagram. So anyone wanting to find her, Sulla Christodoulou, and like I said, she's got 4 books out at the moment. Now, Andreas Gamaris, he's the chef of the Brotherhood. Every Friday night they have a restaurant there. So he did the food. Now, he served over 200 portions of souvlaki. He wasn't expecting to serve 200, because last year it was mostly children, so it was mostly nuggets, and then they had a lot of souvlaki left over. This year, the souvlaki reached a stage where he was running out, so they had to get more and serve the people. But it's a learning curve.
Of course,
like I said, especially now that more adults come, more adults than children. Now, before we leave the Brotherhood, we have to mention our friend Christos Karolis, who is now, I've got to say, he's the president of the world.
Absolutely.
Literally.
And well deserved.
The Greek Orthodox communities of the world. But he's still the president of the world. Now, this is your test now, Alex. I'm going to cover these up. Now, what are the countries that he's the president of? This is I've got to say, this is for the Greek Orthodox communities around the world. He's not.
Yeah, so it's no threat to Donald or no threat. Yeah, no threat.
So
we start with the UK.
Yeah.
US of A.
Yeah.
Now Greece.
Yeah.
Western Europe.
Oh no. Well,
Europe in general.
Rest of Europe.
Africa. But South Africa and Africa. Rest of Africa.
This is South Africa and the rest of Africa.
And the rest of Africa. Yeah. Latin America?
No.
Venezuela?
No, nothing down
nothing down
that way. Just think where Cypriots are.
Oh, right, Cypriots. Oh, I thought there were a few in Latin America. Okay.
Did you say Australia?
Australia. Yeah.
And somewhere where actually it's probably quite obvious once you hear it. It's Canada.
Canada, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so it's all there. Now he's got. And there's no Asia though.
No Asia.
That's what I'm saying. The Cypriots aren't in Hong Kong or.
And Latin America, I'm surprised. I thought, is it Argentina, Venezuela? There's quite a.
Yeah. Well, we had one of our priests served in Venezuela, Ecuador. Actually, in Cuba. He was in Cuba.
Have to have a word with Federation to sort it out. But needs to be corrected.
But he'll be president for 6 years.
Excellent.
Yeah. So by the time he finishes, he'll be 38 years old, and he'll be ready to go on to the next stage.
Absolutely.
That was for you, Christo. Okay. Now, one quick mention now for Vima dance class. That's in Enfield. That's our end of the woods. Costandino runs the classes. They've started their new term. And it's just full of fun and energy, this class. People of all ages, people of all abilities, and just having a good time. If you can't do a dance, you sit it out. If you can do it, you join in again. If you want a breather, you sit down. If you're ready to go, you go again. So that's Costandino and Vima Dance School.
Brilliant.
And then very finally, Clissold Arms, a quick mention, that's the home of the Kinks in North London. I was there for my daughter's 30th birthday party. So on that day, they had her birthday party, they had remembrance service, a Nigerian remembrance event, and then they had a bar mitzvah at the end.
Oh,
so
right.
think of the diversity of that. And on the 4th of October, Tas Diastello will be playing there. Amazing musician. So if anyone wants to go to Clissold Arms on the 4th of October, it's an evening event. Buy your tickets ahead of time and you'll have a wonderful time. And then one final thing, 2 days after the show is aired, it'll be the wedding.
The wedding?
Which you'll be coming to. So I'm getting married on the 28th of September. The service will be in Greek, English, Romanian and Vlach, or Vlachica. So anyone wants to come along, it's at St Andrew's in Kentish Town at 2 p.m. You're more than welcome to come to the church. I'm going to let Alex do the final goodbye. Alex, take it away.
Well, Alex, thank you very much for inviting me on the show. It is indeed an honour. Good luck with the continuation. Obviously, unfortunately, it's not the same with our friend James, but I wish you every luck and success. And let's do this for James. That's what I was saying. Thank you for asking me on.
Thank you.
Thank you.